What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, daily news, and everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Money, investing, the stock market. If you're new to our YouTube channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. You guys are amazing. There's a developing story. Well, there's a couple different things here. Let's jump right in. The U.S. has sent an aircraft carrier group to the Mediterranean as the Russia threat is developing. And the U.S. is taking this very seriously as they have literally sent an aircraft carrier group over there just in case as this entire situation is escalating. Yeah. You can see here the U.S. military has sent the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier strike group to take part in a NATO naval exercise in the Mediterranean amid tensions between the West and Russia, the Pentagon's top spokesperson has now announced. Neptune Strike 22 exercises, which are set to begin Monday and run through February 4th, will, quote, demonstrate NATO's ability to integrate the high end maritime strike capabilities of an aircraft carrier strike group to support the deterrence and defense of the alliance. Ooh. Press Secretary John Kirby told reporters here. He added that the strike group, along with several other NATO allies he did not name, quote, will participate in coordinated maritime maneuvers, anti submarine warfare training, and long range strike training. Kirby insisted that the war games had been long planned since 2020 and were not in response to recent Russian military buildup near the Ukrainian border, though the drills are not listed on the NATO's website among exercises slated for this year. Yeah. Shortly after the DoD announcement, the Department of Defense, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg added to the speculation that the timing of the maneuver when he tweeted that, quote, NATO will always do what is necessary to protect and defend all allies. Now, Russia has over 100,000 troops on the border of Russia and Ukraine. And our intelligence says that there's probably, or there could be, an invasion of Russia over Ukraine, which is a U.S. ally. And you can see here, even President Biden predicts that Russia will, quote, move in to Ukraine. But Biden calls this a, quote, minor incursion and may prompt discussion over consequences. But we have now sent an aircraft carrier strike group over there. So things are escalating pretty quickly. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. 2022 is not disappointing if you're looking for fireworks and headline news. It doesn't seem to have any shortage of that. In addition to that, Senator Joe Manchin says he's now ready to talk over the Build Back Better package and to negotiate, which is good news for the Democrats because that recent interview he gave on Fox News made it seem like he didn't want to negotiate, but then a lot of people were calling his bluff as he was speaking with the White House over that, and President Biden said he spoke with Joe Manchin several different times and that they were negotiating. So Senator Joe Manchin says he's ready to talk now, even though he's, quote, been talking with President Biden over the new Build Back Better package. They're calling it a, quote, new Build Back Better package because it's probably or could end up with a new name, and just throw away the Build Back Better package name for 2022 as well. Something new there as well, because Build Back Better at this point just looks like that name might be dead as well, even though a lot of the same things might end up here in the provisions. But there's also a lot of people that thinks that there needs to be a lot more things in the people, a lot more stimulus provisions in there for the people as well, which we'll have to see as they renegotiate basically a new bill here for 2022. They could do this pretty quickly. It all is really up into Senator Joe Manchin's hand and maybe Kirsten Sinema as well. But they are going to be doing this now, and Senator Joe Manchin says he's on board with this. So it'll be interesting to see with this, as well as the child tax credits that have expired. And January 15th came and went, and 60 million children and their families and their parents or their guardians or their grandmas and grandpas who are their guardians. Remember, a lot of them are their guardians and didn't get the checks. So um, it's a really sad situation to see so many of them not getting these checks that they were depending on every single month, and hopefully we can see something like that come to fruition here, as well as there was a lot of different things on the board here for this year. We have a social security raise in addition to the 5.9% increase. There's two or three different bills. There's $200 per month. There's the $200 per month Social Security increase bill that was been introduced by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Ron Wyden that has unveiled their plans to increase Social Security benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. That is probably going to have a big push here in 2022. Whether it ends up like this bill or whether it ends up like the Social Security 2100 Act, which has been reintroduced here just a few weeks ago by Senator John Larson and has somewhere around like 200 co sponsors. This bill would raise Social Security benefits to a minimum of the 125% of the federal poverty level, which is $1,341 per month, along with extending the viability of Social Security so it won't run out of money. They do this by several different ways, but increasing taxes on people that make over $400,000, they start repaying into Social Security. Just a couple of the things on the slate for this year. I think we're going to see a big push for that here, as this is an election year with the House and the Senate, as well as possible fourth stimulus checks, as the economy is really struggling right now, and we're seeing this in all kind of sectors of the economy right now. And remember, there's 8.8 million Americans out sick right now because of the pandemic. These are people that are in quarantine right now. And really, the number could be actually higher. Who knows? So think about how bad the economy right now is just with this one particular number, probably nearing 10 million people. Think about how many people are not getting a paycheck right now. This is millions and millions of people. It's really, really sad to say. So we got a lot of different things on the slate here. Potential fourth stimulus check, an extension of the child tax credits, Social Security raises, student loan forgiveness, which we just had already this year with the $1.7 billion in private student loan debt from Navient. If you have a private student loan with the company Navient, they have private student loans and also federal student loans, but they are forgiving $1.7 billion in private student loans here. One of the largest student loan servicers, and this is just a kind of a start to 2022. We're probably going to see a lot more here. Last year, we had $11.5 billion in student loans forgiven in 2021. Again, there's all sorts of different things going on here. We have all sorts of states, cities, and counties doing stimulus checks, stimulus programs, universal basic income. And well, if you watch this show, you know that almost pretty much on a every couple day basis, we are covering different states, different cities, and different counties that are offering stimulus checks, stimulus programs, and universal basic income all the time. Just new programs popping up pretty much on a weekly basis here that I cover all the time. I'll keep you up to date on those. Okay, next up, let's go to White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki getting grilled on Fox News on several different items here. Check this out. She's kind of scrambling to cover a lot of these things.
Yesterday, Europe made some very interesting decisions. Boris Johnson in the UK rolling back mask mandates and vaccine passports. Israel saying we're not going to make everyone get a booster every 3 months. You had Spain doing something similar on vaccine passports, even the Czech Republic. So the president seems to be going in a different direction, right? You're sending out masks now, you're going to do the test. But can you envision, will the president provide America an off-ramp to COVID, and especially for the unvaccinated? Because the more we find out, like from the CDC saying that you are more protected if you already had the virus, even if you are unvaccinated. That just came out. So I'm looking for a question or an answer on an off-ramp for Americans, because a lot of unvaccinated feel like they're being the scapegoats and second-class citizens, even though I want people to be vaccinated so that they're protected.
Sure. Well, first let me say 75% of the country is fully vaccinated. All of those people did not vote for Joe Biden, and certainly they're not all Democrats. We know that mathematically. What the president's trying to do is protect the country, protect people from death. We also know from the CDC and from our scientists that you are 17 times more likely to be hospitalized and 20 times more likely to die if you are not vaccinated. So we're trying to provide people accurate information. At the same time, Dan, I think you make a really important point. We don't want to live like this. You heard the president say, we don't want to live like this forever. We want to get back to a point where we're not wearing masks, of course, where we're not worried about our kids being in school places, where we can go and cheer for the Bengals. That one's for you, Bill, out in football stadiums. That's where we want to get to. And what we're trying to do is continue to fight at the height of a pandemic to get to that point. That's our objective.
So are we about 6 weeks away from something like a Boris Johnson announcement saying that masks will no longer be required?
Maybe less.
Well, I can't make a prediction of that because we listen to the scientists. Obviously, we've seen it spike in some parts of the world. We're seeing it spike. We've seen spikes and come down a little bit in some parts of the United States, but we'll be watching it very closely.
Okay, all right, on to crime. Dana, go ahead.
Well, that was just another issue that didn't come up last night, but it is starting to show up in the top 5 issues that voters say that they're concerned about. And you can also look at the polls that say that a majority of people feel that the president is not focused on the issues that they care about. So on crime, will the president find a way back to where he was when he supported the crime bill? I mean, people are concerned about the murder rate, but also assaults, burglary. Everything seems like it's on edge. And you can't think about anything else like free community college or universal pre-K if you're worried about your security.
Well, absolutely, the president would agree with you on that front. And we have also encouraged local leaders, local officials to take on the crime in their communities. That's absolutely essential. What the president has proposed, and we'll get to, there'll be a lot of discussion of this, I expect, over the next couple of months, is a significant plus up of funding for local community policing programs, significantly increased from the last president,
but Jen,
because the president's a believer in that.
Will he push on the progressive prosecutors that are, for example, here in New York City, saying that things like taking a gun into a store, robbing it, but then leaving and nobody gets killed, that's a misdemeanor? Is the president okay with that?
Well, look, the president's not going to wade into the actions of prosecutors or of the legal justice department. That's his bottom line. But he's also been very clear. He's been a longtime supporter of cops programs, of the police, of local first responders, of local law enforcement, and he has been an advocate for additional funding.
Okay.
As you know, it was a big issue of defunding the police. That was absolutely never anything he proposed or supported, even in the face of real criticism from within his own party.
Okay, 2 more topics here on Russia. What would the White House consider to be a, quote, minor incursion?
Well, let me be very clear on what the president has conveyed directly to President Putin. If there is any movement of military troops across the border into Ukraine, if they go into Ukraine and invade, that is an invasion. There will be severe economic consequences. It is also true, and Bill, I was at the State Department, and Dana, I was at the State Department back in 2014. We saw some of this back then. There's a range of tactics the Russians use, whether it's the little green men, as they're called, or it's cyber attacks, and we will be prepared to respond to that as well. So we're prepared for a range of tactics they may use, but if they move their military into Ukraine, we will be responding, and we have a range of preparations.
As you know from overnight, Kiev was, I think the word was shocked by some of their leading diplomats when they heard that comment. Has there been a direct communication with Kiev today since that comment last night about a minor incursion?
Our national security team has been in touch. Tony Blinken is in Europe right now. Also, I would note the foreign minister conveyed just this morning that he is confident in the support of the United States, and he should be, because we are supportive and we have their backs.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think is going to happen with Russia and the US? There's a lot of different things going on here. Seems like we come out of Afghanistan and poof, then we have this Russia incident. We can't seem to just be at peace. I don't know. It just seems like it's always something, right? And we're trying to deal with the pandemic. It's just it's if it's not one thing, it's another, right? Yeah. So let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date here with everything. We got a lot of different things here going on with stimulus, child tax credits, student loan forgiveness, Social Security raises, fourth stimulus checks, stimulus packages, Build Back Better, emergency virus relief stimulus packages, multiple different things going on here. Universal basic income. I'll keep you up to date here with everything. So make sure to click the subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. Join our family of subscribers. It's completely free to do so. Help us reach 400,000 subscribers. We're almost there. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also click the share button down below to share this video with your family and friends. I'll keep you up to date here with everything. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And you can click here to see how some people are eligible to receive $5,000 on their tax returns here for 2022 or from the 2021 tax returns. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.